Let's look at another example of the one mean t-test. According to Communications Industry Forecast and Report, the average person watched 4.55 hours of television per day in 2005. A random sample of 20 people gave the number of hours of television watched per day for the last year. At the 10% significance level, do the data provide sufficient evidence to conclude that the mean amount of television watched per day last year by the average person differed from that in 2005? So I'm going to have you go ahead and work on this one on your own. So pause the video and give this a try. All right, so let's take a look at this. So the P in phantoms is a statement about the parameter, which is our mean. So we're interested in testing the claim that the mean TV hours differ from 4.55. That's going to lead us into our hypotheses. So our null hypothesis is that mu is equal to 4.55. And the alternative is that mu is not equal to 4.55. And we get that from the use of that word differ. So we have three assumptions and conditions: random sample, normal, large, and then what type of standard deviation do we have? So I do have a random sample here. It's not quite large enough. It's only a sample size of 20, but the normal probability plot did look really good to me, so I'm good with that. And then I got a sample standard deviation of about 2.3. And since I had to use a sample standard deviation because the population one isn't listed, that's what tells me I'm using a one mean t as in tiger test. Right? I calculated that test statistic, so my sample mean was 4.8, and then I subtracted my null hypothesis value, the 4.55, and that was divided by 2.3 over the square root of 20. So I did get a test statistic of 0.486, and that sounds awfully close to the mean, so I'm going to guess this p-value is a good size, and it is 0.63. So 63% is a lot bigger than 10%, so we do not reject the null hypothesis here. So with a p-value of 0.63 at the 10% significance level, we do not have sufficient evidence the mean hours of TV viewing is different than 4.55. All right, so that has been our trip into the one mean t-test, and we looked at the confidence intervals earlier. So the next stop here is chapter 21, where we're going to be able to compare two groups against each other. So I'll see you back here for chapter 21.